In the last video, we just kind of looked at what the Industrial Revolution was, where it started, that America was really, in a sense, just born during this. And now we're going to look at the specific inventions that really had an impact in the development and growth of our country. Eli Whitney's cotton gin. We had just won the war for independence, just approved our new Constitution, and just working on electing our very first president. When Eli Whitney had a slave, and he developed this machine that would clean the seeds out of the cotton. And when cotton, when the plant grows, it's encased in this bud, and there's seeds in the bud, and when the cotton develops, you have to pick the seeds away from the cotton in order to spin the cotton and use it to make any kind of fabric or clothes or anything. And so here is a machine, instead of picking it by hand, here is a machine that cleans out cotton seeds from picked cotton faster and more effective. And so you may sit there and go, yeah, well, Cummins, this is a big snore. Who cares about that? Well, who would care about that? Who would this impact? Obviously, it's going to impact cotton farmers. So as opposed to having a product that will take you hours and hours to clean so you can package it and sell it, now you have a machine that will let you clean it much faster. Not hours, but maybe minutes. So that's going to motivate you to do what? To make more cotton, to grow more cotton. So this, by one simple machine, could really influence what these farmers in the South, where cotton needs to grow with the heat, influence what they will grow. One of the other results of the cotton gin was, cotton is, now we found an easy way to clean it, but it's a very difficult plant to pick. And so one of the results of the cotton gin, you could make a lot of money selling cotton, but you would, in order to clean a lot of it, you would need a lot of people to pick it. And so it really became very profitable to have slaves, and to get more slaves. They could pick more cotton, clean it better, send it over to England where a lot of these mills were, and make more money. So the more slaves, the more cotton picked, the more cotton picked, the more cotton sold, the more cotton sold, the more money you had. And slave owners began to value the idea of having slaves much more. Slaves became a much higher commodity. Especially in the South, agricultural states, slavery became much more important to the economy. As the cotton gin influenced farmers to grow, well, you could grow cotton, a lot more cotton, you can make a lot more money. To do that, you also need slaves. We are beginning to establish the culture, the priority of the southern states, what they consider essential. And so the whole idea of slavery to be able to make money is starting to become very integrated in the thought of the South. Cotton grown on plantations was in demand. And please note this, by the textile factories in England and New England. The northern states had some of the technology in England with these new machines was stolen, brought over to America. They began to create their own factories, and these factories are saying to their fellow states, southern states, we'll buy your cotton. And so it wasn't just the idea of the southern farmers wanting to make money and they're in this alone. They were encouraged and supported by the New England factory owners who wanted their cotton to make cloth so they could make more money. So it was a symbiotic type of relationship. So the cotton gin really influenced not just the South in terms of actually having the slaves, but really influenced the North to buy up the cotton and use it. And that, in not a direct sense, but an indirect sense, really encouraged the slavery of the South. Another very important invention was the steam engine. and that was developed by Robert Fulton. And notice the date again, right around, we're just passing our Constitution, right close to where we have our first president, and the first steam-powered plant is developed. Well, now you don't have to move your factory by a stream. Now you can put your factory closer to the resources, or now you can put your factory closer to the point of shipping your product out. And so factories didn't have to be at a certain place. And even with being by streams, you get a drought, the factory stops. So now that the machines are being powered by an engine, there were plenty of, you could move them when it was easiest to get your resources, produce, and ship your product out. So now people began to move. They began to move where the factories were, and they began to move into cities to work in the factories. This especially impacted New England states, because in New England they had very poor soil, very little farmland, but they had great streams and rivers, so it was a natural point to where these initial factories that were water powered would be developed. And then steamboats with all their streams and rivers were developed that they could move their products from the factories to other places very quickly. So it really promoted, these two inventions really helped promote, along with the physical environment of New England, the idea of that becoming more industrial as opposed to agriculture, farms in the South. The next significant invention is John Deere and the steel plow. And this isn't kind of isolated. In the Northeast, we know that there was rocky, poor soil. In the South, they had cotton. So why did the steel plow play such an important part? And we will look at the importance and the significance of the steel plow in the next video.